Super Mario Bros. Is a mess. The physics are off and the levels feel repetitive. Alright, sure, that was harsh, but the game isn't actually so bad. Or is it? Let's figure it out. Released September 13, 1985 in Japan, and October 18, 1985 in North America, I share a birthday with this game. Isn't that fun? The game was an instant success, selling over 40 million copies worldwide as 2020. The game received praise for its innovative gameplay and precise controls for the time. Today, the game hasn't aged well in a lot of ways, but some areas are still great. To start, the controls are a little messy. Changing momentum in the air is a pain, but it's easy to get used to by the end of the second world. Running takes just a hair too long to start up, which, paired with the level design often featuring one-block platforms, makes for some frustrating moments where Mario just won't listen to the player. It's not too hard to get used to, but are controls really good if I have to make a conscious decision when I start running? And when I jump, should I have to make a choice between an early jump where I feel secure, or wait for an optimal jump and hope that Mario jumps when I tell him to? Well, the level design is more consistent though, but maybe it's too consistent. Levels rarely have any gimmicks, and when they do, they are just not fun. Take World 7 Level 4 as an example. The level forces the player to select one of three paths and follow the correct one before doing it again. If I were to get the first choice right, but mess up the second, I would have to redo the area all over. This sounds like a minor annoyance, but the timer is strict, and getting a game over means I'm going back to the start of the game. Actually, I have a confession to make. I use the rewind feature on the Switch version to avoid game overs. I die, and I go back to the start of the level. The argument can be made that this ruins the difficulty balancing of the original, but this game can be cruel, and I didn't want to be frustrated trying to beat the game so I could make this video. Nevertheless, another level that does this is the final level. There are pipes abound and only one leads onward. This level also has a timer, as all of them do, and it really stressed me out. I actually finished the castle with only 13 seconds left on the clock. And let me remind you, the seconds are like twice as fast in this game. The game felt like it was against me the entire time, with hammer bros being placed in unavoidable spots that forced me to pray and hope that when I try to get past, they stop throwing hammers randomly. Another example is the second to last level. Near the end is a usual staircase that leads to the flagpole, but here there are gaps that force me to land on a one-block space or fall to my death. Just take a second and imagine being a kid who has found enough time to beat the game without saving, and on their last life, dies to this staircase. Something like that would have easily ruined me, and I'm sure it did for someone. The difficulty is really something else. I almost never had any power-ups, and I only used the Fire Flower once, so for most of the game, I was one hit. I was a little antsy to finish this game, and I rarely look for power-ups, but still, I was struggling. On a positive note, the sprite work here is really well done. Bowser, Mario, and Goomba are all iconic, but some things are just a little off. Mario has red overalls and a hat with brown clothes, which always just looked odd. Bowser doesn't have a shock of red hair like in more recent games. Peach has brown hair instead of blonde, and a different dress. Koopa walk on all fours. Stuff in this game is very odd looking today. Granted, sure, the modern designs didn't exist yet, but today the characters just look off. Generally, everything's nice, but could be improved in a number of ways. Finally, the music is on point. The ground, underground, castle, and invincibility themes are staples of the Mario universe, with the water theme being my favorite. The theme flows and makes me feel free in all the right ways. I really love this one, and so did Koji Kondo, as this was the first theme he composed for the game, saying that it was the easiest for him to envision. Everyone knows the music of this game, and it really shows how much the development team cared for every part of the game. So what's the verdict? Is the game good or not? I would say that yes, this game is good. The controls are good, the difficulty, while it is hard, is a fun challenge, the music is fitting and fun to listen to, and the game looks good for an early NES game. Plus, the memories I have with it are some of my favorites.